Hold on real quick. Come here. Shalom, shalom, Israel. When I share, like this.
Get that one and share.
But which one? Doesn't it give you some?
Shalom, shalom, Israel.
Shalom, 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 Israel. Hope everybody is having a restful, peaceful Shabbat. A lot of information gonna go out today. We're gonna keep it sweet, not too short, not too long. The spirit of Satan really was trying to keep me from bringing this information out. So I hope people really learn something today. He tried in many ways to prevent this information from going out. Let's put it like that. But we're gonna bring it out anyway. So first of all, as far as the thumbnail says Tongva land, and it shows it on fire because that is the name of the original Native American tribe that inhabited Los Angeles and the surrounding areas. So we're gonna go into it. Is the LA wildfires? My bad. You take it. Is the LA wildfires a tragedy, or is it judgment? Is it justice? You know, the Most High does all things, whether it be good or bad. So we're gonna go into the scriptures a little bit and go into history a little bit, and we're gonna learn something today. So let me start sharing my screen real quick. We're gonna get to it.
Hold on.
Hold on for a
See
second.
something?
Go ahead.
Where's the screen? This one?
Yeah.
The audio is not coming. So you gotta go. You gotta leave the...
Give us a second.
Hold on a second.
Online syndicate here.
Yeah, you didn't I'm trying to see yours is different. No, edit. You didn't connect your audio. But yours is different. That's the thing. What the heck? Hold on, tell me wait. Studios. Where's studio at though? Let me see. This is just a thumbnail. It's studio settings. See? See, it's not telling me it's studio settings. That's the problem. Go here. Yeah, I did.
No, stop sharing. You didn't stop sharing.
I just stopped sharing it. Hold on. Oh, here it is right here. Audio. Audio. You gotta go here. You gotta go to. Give it a mic check.
Mic check. Mic check. Sure they could hear?
No, they can't hear. The computer might not be able
You plug this in and change Oh, they can hear. They can hear.
They can't, no, but they can't hear through the mic.
Oh.
It's through the microphone.
Mic check. Mic check.
See how they can hear. All right, well, that's just how it's going to be. Yeah, that's good. Give it a mic check on your mic.
Mic check. That sound funny or something?
Nah. No, you do them. You do mic check.
Mic check. Mic check.
All right, that's just, yeah, that's how it's going to be.
That's cool.
Go ahead, yeah. You know how to do that?
Yeah. So we are sharing.
You switch your computer this way so he can hear you.
All right, Con, let's get to it, man. So this is a fair use warning. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video docs, et cetera, for the use of teaching, parody, news reporting, or criticism. So we don't own the rights to or the copyrights of any material that we will be sharing today. So don't flag us. All right, so judgment from God, disaster, or arson. Judgment from God, disaster, or arson. Let me get 2 Maccabees 1:27. Disaster, arson, conspiracy, or judgment from God.
Come, ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Come, the book of 2 Maccabees 1:27. Gather those together that are scattered from us. Deliver them that serve among the heathen. Look upon them that are despised and abhorred, and let the heathen know that thou art our God.
You get verse 28.
Come, verse 28. Punish them that oppress us, and with pride do us wrong.
So this is our forefathers asking the Most High to punish them that oppress us and with pride do us wrong. Okay, and the heathen shall know that that the Most High God is our God through the judgment that He will execute upon them and through the lifting up of us, the 12 tribes that's been scattered abroad.
Okay.
So once again, this is fair use. We don't own the rights to this. So let's just watch this video a little bit. Straw. Some brothers, and look, this is the part right here. Distraught. He's distraught. See the small hat right here, right? I love to see them distraught. Let me keep it real. Okay. And that reminds me of Ramayat. Everybody's around him burning up except him. So like I said, is it a tragedy or is it judgment from the Most High God? You know, apocalyptic scenes is how asking why wasn't there no waters in the water hydrant? Because the Most High didn't want no water to come out. He wanted it to burn. You know, and this is the landscape that was left of all this land that once was affluent, rich in culture and animals, and now it's looking like a wasteland. Okay. Sunset Boulevard on fire. Who thought they would ever see that? Fire and ash, devastation in LA. Okay. Fire and ash, devastation in LA. It looked like a bomb hit. It does look like a bomb hit. So this is a map of the Tongva tribe and their various villages within the LA basin. So if you zoom in right here, you see this is Pacific Palisades right here. You see there was a couple real nice sized villages right here. This is what was burning when we looked on that video right now. If you go over right here, there's Malibu. There was another village, Topanga, Calabasas. I believe there was a fire in West Hills. So all these places, this right here, we're going to talk about this. This was a missionary. We're going to talk about that. All these places were the places that were predominantly burning up. And it was Israel. It was the 10 tribes. And here, Pasadena, Altadena, okay? And here's another mission church right in that same vicinity. So these are the places that were burning up. Pretty much all of LA was his tribe. It's crazy how we don't know about this, you know? Through the spirit, a lot of these 10 tribes you see here, it probably from this tribe, man, don't even know it. And we're going to explain why. So this is the Palisades fire. All this is burnt up. This is all the places that have evacuation orders. And you see the marker right here is Agora Hills and Calabasas and Malibu. This is just a zoomed in version of the map. Okay. Now this is a zoomed in version of the previous map. It shows you Agora Hills, Calabasas, Malibu. This is the same place. I just showed you a little bit more detail where these places are. So like you said, remember you said on Malibu, the Chumash people. Right? So these were the neighbors of the Tongva. So before the Spanish conquest, Malibu was inhabited by the Chumash people. The first Spanish conquistador to discover California, they call them conquistador. I call them rapists, criminals, devils. They always say their names as if it's like a archaeological smart guy. Yeah. These are criminals. Okay. To discover California was Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo. It sounds like a 10 tribe name, right? But we got to understand, I try to explain to my 10 tribe brothers and sisters, you have the names of your oppressors, literally. You know what I mean? That's not a Hebraic, Aztec, a Mayan name. That's an Edomite name. So in 1542, he named the land Pueblo de las Canoas because he said it was a town of canoes. Now, where he actually met the people at was what we would call Catalina Island. That's where he first saw them at. And they met him in a canoe on the shallow parts of the water, and they greeted him. Our people are naturally greeting people. Even today, we accept all races, even though they despise us. That's how our people naturally work. So in 1802, the Spanish colonizer, see, they get they keep it real. The first one was a conquistador. He's on a conquest. Now the second one, he's a colonizer because they're admitting, and this is Google. You could Google this. They're admitting that he's a colonizer. The Bartolo Tapia family settled in an area known as Rancho Topanga, because Topanga was the name of a Tongva tribe. A lot of these names like Azusa, we're going to go into that too. And that's specifically in Malibu. So you see, that was more than 250 years later. So they kept records of where they went and searched out and who's there and what kind of food sources was there, et cetera, et cetera. They spent the block 260 years later. They didn't just go there and forget about it. They went over there, was nice, like the serpents they are, but the whole intention was to colonize, as we can see here. Colonizer. All right. So let's go. Carbon Beach, also known as Billionaire Beach, is a 1.5 mile long sandy beach in Malibu, California. It is located between the Malibu Pier at Surfrider Beach and Carbon Canyon Road. The beach is in front of the stunning beachfront homes and is highly coveted by the elite. We're going to go into who these elite are then and today also. Because the Most High did a number on Billionaire Beach. You know what I mean? All praise to the Most High. He did a good number on them. So these are the Chumash people in Malibu. We're going to talk about our brothers first. These are the Chumash people, you know, minding their own business, you know, living off the land, respecting the land. They used to give the land a Sabbath. You know, they wouldn't pick the fruit until it was a perfect time that it wouldn't hurt the tree. They wouldn't pick from a tree on its first blossom. They would let it mature first. Little things like this showing that they have respect. You know, Esau just raped the land now he raped it so much he got to give us GMO foods now. Okay, that's why he's not the rightful owner. He's not the rightful leader of the world. Because if it was up to him, he would be the whole. Imagine how dirty the beach would be in 200 years. How dirty the air would be. You know how the water would be. That's why when brothers like Yatazaz say that he don't see us being here for 20, 30 more years, he's not trying to say this year Yahushua coming back. But I just can't see the way the world is going. I can't see it continuing like that. So this is another brother, you know, a little more what they call it, swarthy, a little more darker skinned brother, you know. And this is a sister right here with fringes, and you see that ribbon of blue, right? through the spirit, they know. I mean, their culture, like oral traditions, have followed down a long time, even though they don't. Everything they missed out on a lot of things. A lot of things got lost. A lot of things got stolen from them. The spirit of the Most High is still on these people. This is in recent years, in the last 10 years. And here go another sister right here, beautiful sister. You know what I'm saying? Got her fringes on, you know, got a little ribbon of blue in there, you know what I'm saying?
With a dress.
You know, with a dress on, you know, righteous and beautiful at the same time. So these are the Chumash people, the people who inhabited the Malibu area. So Tongva natives are an indigenous people of California, primarily inhabiting the Los Angeles Basin and the Southern Channel Islands, meaning they are considered the original inhabitants of what is now modern-day Los Angeles. They are also sometimes referred to as Gabrielino Tongva people and also Fernandino. We'll go into why they're called that. That's a byword, by the way. That's not what they're called. Some people dispute them being called Tongva, you know, because they probably didn't call themselves that. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just dib and dabble on this. We know the Tongva were the original people of Pacific Palisades, as you see here, because that's specific the place that we're talking about today. One of the specific places, Pacific Palisades, the hills where the rich Edomite folks, Jewish people, a lot of people live there. The elite of our people, most of the time, the wicked, they don't follow the laws of the Most High God. And, you know what I'm saying? I feel sorry for, you know, and I hope the Lord has mercy on our people who were caught up in those fires. But, you know, you got to ask yourself when bad things happen to you. You know what I'm saying? You got to look yourself in the mirror and examine yourself and say, were you doing the will of the Most High? You know? And the ones of our people that did lose their homes, et cetera, they probably weren't. To be honest with you. Will Smith. There's a couple people, you know? So this is Tongva, Native American. You see the hilly areas right here? These are the Altadenas and I believe this specifically is over there in the Palisades, Malibu Mountains area. This was before the houses, before they came and, you know, had their way with it completely and did their will. And this is a sister, you know what I'm saying? Has a nice brown complexion. Some people think all Native Americans were light skinned. They weren't, you know, even though it's nothing wrong with being light skinned. I'm not dark skinned, but I'm just saying, give me, second address 2127, I think. Says laden with fruit, 12 diverse trees. That's I never brought this out.
Okay, Con 18, 2 and 18.
Con.
The book of 2 Ezra 2 and verse 18. For thy help will I send my servants, Isaiah and Jeremiah, after whose counsel I have sanctified and prepared for thee 12 trees laden with diverse fruits.
Well, what?
12 trees.
You know, the Most High liken man to trees. Well, what?
Laden with diverse fruits.
So these 12 tribes, these 12 trees are going to be laden with diverse fruits. They're going to be doing different things. They're going to look different. They're all fruit, but one looks like an apple, one's like an orange, one looks like a banana. So this, through the Spirit, to me, is telling me the Most High said, you're not all going to look the same. You're not going to all have the same complexion, the same hair texture, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So let's keep it moving on this. These are some more Tongva front in the Palisades area. You know, he has a thicker, greater hair, little less thick. Hers is a little more thicker. You know, our people come in different shapes, sizes, and colors, etc. This is more recent Tongva people because now that it's not illegal to be a Native American, they're coming out because just like when they had to act like they were Catholics and Christians and had to keep their culture a secret, they were able to outwardly act like they were like the white man wanted them to act, but secretly keep their oral traditions. They had to learn that they just can't say it, or else it's gonna be a problem, right? Okay. So let me see. So this is the Eaton fire over here. This is Altadena right here behind this writing. This is Pasadena. You see Arcadia, East Pasadena. So if you go back to the map, you see right here South Pasadena, Altadena, Azusa. That's a name of a tribe. That's actually a city right there. Now here's the mission. We're gonna talk about that. Ironically, all these fires sprang up around these missions and in this place, all these places where these tribes were and where they supposedly disappeared from. Some more Tonga people of that area in the San Gabriel Valley. Okay. Some more recent. You know, they got conquered by these people so bad they portray the flag, but she don't even look proud holding it. You know what I mean? She don't even look proud holding the damn flag. They probably said in order to be in this parade, you have to hold it.
Just to get noticed.
Just to get noticed. But you see the fringes, you know, that's just embedded in our culture, you know, more with them than it was with us. Because I had no idea about fringes before I came into the truth.
All right.
And here's some more recent. This is how Tonga people look. You just look at them and say, oh, it's a Mexican. You know, through the spirit, those are brothers too, but these are actually people of the tribe that had this land before the so-called white man. So this is the judgment. This is in Pasadena. A Jewish temple center burns in the Eaton fire on January 7th. Why would the Most High burn the people, chosen people of God? Why would the Most High burn his temple? All praise to the Most High. Okay, and here's a presumably Catholic church, could be Christian, and he burned it up. They lying to people in there. They lying to the Mexican people, telling them you Gentiles when they actually the chosen people of the Most High God. Okay, so I know the audio is not working. Let me know if y'all can hear the audio online, but regardless, we're gonna play the video because it's really for you to see. Hold on, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let's see something real quick. Altadena. Beautiful, right? That's what God did to it. See that same marker? Malibu, Billionaire Beach. Reduced. Rubble. Stubble. Right? Pacific Palisades. Nothing. The Obadiah 1 and 3. Pacific Palisades. Hey, somewhere if you go right now, you can have the right credit score, the right job. They'll give you the excuse why you can't have it. Red line. That's what my brother Ratazan went to before. You get red line if you come here. You can have all the right credentials and you will get red line here because they just don't want to see your face. This day kingdom. Read that real quick.
Obadiah 1 and verse 3. The pride of thy heart have deceived thee.
So the pride of these people thought that they could really come take this land, rape the hell out of all the women, kill the mighty man and the chiefs, and rebuild a metropolis on top of this land, and that nobody was going to bring them down. Right? Go ahead.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Where?
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
The Palisades, the Palos Verdes. Hey, Most High probably spared them because we got a brother that lived close here. That's probably the only reason why the Most High spared Palos Verdes. But needless to say, Altadena, Beverly Hills, West Hills, these hilly high areas, right? That's where the Edom likes to live at, apparently. Go ahead.
Whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down?
They said what?
Who shall bring me down?
Who shall bring them down? Go ahead.
To the ground.
To what?
To the ground.
Where are their houses at right there? To the ground. All you can see is the pool, all the pools they had. Everybody got a pool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Verse 4. Thou that exalt thyself as the eagle.
Like what?
As the eagle. and though thou settest thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
Saith who?
Saith the Lord.
See, but they don't believe in the Lord. So they think that they could just do whatever they want. Okay? So I can skip this one. We already showed where these places are at. So the history of the Tonga. Before colonization, there were at least 100 Tonga tribes scattered around Los Angeles, California County, including all the beachfront communities such as Malibu, Pacific Palisades, Santa Monica, Venice, Manhattan Beach, Palos Verdes, Long Beach, Newport Beach, etc. Spanish criminals, aka colonizers, is a nice way to say it, referred to the Tonga people by the names of the missions, the Catholic churches they were forced to build in slavery. Example, the Gabrielino built the San Gabriel Mission Catholic Church. That first little cross I showed you on the map. Fernandino, Mission San Fernando Catholic Church. Mission building purpose. This is the actual search bar. I copied and pasted. What was the purpose of building the mission churches in Los Angeles? To convert convert indigenous people to Catholicism. Now we choose Catholicism. Well, give me Hosea 4:6 real quick. Why would we choose a religion that was forced onto us in slavery? Go ahead.
Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge.
Not even knowledge of the Bible. I'm just saying, like, common knowledge, like Google, like who was here first, and you will find out what happened to these people and connect the dots that it was your people that was actually done the way that I'm about to show you how these people was done. We don't need no more of that. We destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Period. The purpose of building the mission churches in Los Angeles was to convert indigenous people to Catholicism. These missions were also designed to consolidate Spanish power along the coast of California. That was the whole mission, the whole purpose. The Mission San Fernando Rey de España, for example, was established to convert native people to Christianity. Okay. Let me get Sirach 12. Wow. You can't hear this, but it's all good. I'm just going to go ahead and explain to you what's being said real quick, because that's all I really want to try to know is this information. We don't need to hear Esau talk anyway. So there goes a map right there. It looks like freeways, don't it? This is actually a map of the trade routes and the walkways, the walk paths that the people had. This right here, what you see right here, will be where the 405 is. This right here will be where the 101 is. This is where the 405 is, and this is where the 14 freeway is. Ironically enough, they actually use our trade routes to build the freeway system. They basically followed our trade routes, and that's how they came up with the freeway system. This would be where the 710 is at. Okay, so I know they try to tell you we were just stupid people. We were wild savages that didn't know nothing, but they actually followed a lot of our knowledge. Okay. The screen is what? Okay, I got you. Yeah. So, language connections.
Bring it up. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Book of Sirach 12 and verse 12. It reads, "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith." And I know our Native American brothers and sisters wish that they remembered those words when they saw these devils on the first expedition. They should have, got rid of them then. You know what I mean? But what I chose to bring that out, which was in that video, was when the second set of conquerors came through. They didn't come right the second time and start blazing guns. They came peaceably too, and they gained the knowledge that they needed before they turned the guns on. Because it shows you in that video that when they encountered the Palisades Hills, the natives actually showed them what we call today PCH, showed them how to get around those mountains. You know what I'm saying? So we actually, again, were a helpful people, loving,
loving people who we shouldn't have been loving, like we was like we do today.
Yeah, right.
Okay, but the Most High said, not just know who your enemy is, but don't set him next to you. Don't rub elbows with him. You know what I'm saying? Don't trust them. They're never gonna have your well-being in mind, because eventually, no matter what it comes down to, your justice and your well-being is them having to give up their position. I'm giving an example. They can say as much as they want, we're sorry for what happened. I'll do anything to, I wish it was something that I can do to make things right. Y'all like my voice? My wife said I impersonate people well, but I wish there was something that I can do to make things right, dude. So I say, you believe in justice, right? Yes, justice for all. Okay. So let's just take the killing out of it. Let's say I don't want nobody to die. Let's make it simple. This land was taken by force by your forefathers, right? Well, I'm Dutch. It was really the Spanish. Y'all cousins. Y'all that was trying to run around it. Okay? Europeans, Edomites. Right. Okay. But okay, let's say this. Just give us the land back and go back to Europe. Oh no, we can't do that. We can't do that. You don't believe in, and that's not even justice. That's a band-aid. You can't give us the blood back. You can't give us the oral traditions that was lost. You can't take the pain away. Okay. So Gabriela, the Tongva, actually the Gabriela, which are called Gabriela because of the missions, is an extinct Aztecan language, which is not extinct, but it's a Uto-Aztecan language. Okay. So let's go back to the PowerPoint. We go to this one now. And in that Hebrews to Negroes, it showed you the comparisons between those languages and Hebrew, and they're like very similar. Okay. So this language is a family of Native American languages. Okay. And it's one of the largest linguistic families in the Americas. It was spoken as far north as Salmon, Idaho, and as far south as El Salvador and Nicaragua. So that shows you the proximity, like they're actually related all the way up and down. It's not just this tribe, that tribe. Like teaches that we just sprung out the dirt, which we did come from the dirt, but our people migrated here. You know what I'm saying? These people didn't just spring out the dirt over here. I'll take you that. These people came over here through the prophecy of Second Esdras. Okay, and this is where the language used to be. It used to span as far as you see here. Okay, and this is how much it was spoken. When they took this survey in the early 2000s, they still found remnants of the language all the way down here in Mexico, and this is Nicaragua, El Salvador, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so let me get Deuteronomy 1:1. So this is about, we're going to go on to the European contact with these people, the first European contact.
The book of Deuteronomy 1 and verse 1. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side Jordan in the wilderness.
15.
15?
Yeah.
Verse 15. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men and known, and made them heads over you, captains over
28 to 15. My bad. 28.
Okay, come back. All right, come.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 28 and 15.
Salaki, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake you.
And doing the research on these people, these through the Spirit, we know our people came out the Assyrian captivity. They had many gods over there, and although our brothers came here to try to follow the law, some of those remnants of idolatry and having a wind god, a sun god, and this stuff, it followed us here, and that's a sin. Idolatry is a really bad sin. On top of losing a little bit of our knowledge and the oral traditions, they went into like eating shellfish and the same thing we do here, kind of do what we want, eat what we want. Okay.
Con.
Let me get Deuteronomy 28 and 49.
Verse 49, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
And Spain is very far from the coast of California.
Con.
What?
From the end of the earth, Salakia, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flight. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
I'd rather be the Mexican, the Tonga, or anybody else. They didn't understand Spanish when these people came there, even though we think that's our language. 10 tribe think that's their language. It's not. This is a disclaimer for all Mexicans and Latinos and Hispanics. Spanish is not your language. It's from Spain, and Spain is in Europe. Just like my brother Namanawab said, he didn't know, but yeah, all them over there, the Dutch, the Spanish, the English, and all that, is all white people that speak different languages, right? Let me get 28 and 50.
Verse 50, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young.
God, through the spirit, you know, we're going to talk about the fires more, but this is about proving that the fire is judgment, first of all, shining a light on our brothers and sisters who were forgotten and people thought that they were extinct. And through the spirit, just giving some history and knowledge on us, because we don't get we don't get taught this in school. We just get taught that Martin Luther King had a dream. They don't tell you that Martin Luther King said that he is afraid he integrated us into a burning house.
Yeah, we brought that out.
Okay. So the eagle of St. John was featured on the Spanish flag during the Franco regime between 1939 and 1977. The eagle was a symbol of the Catholic monarchs and the Franco's commitment to religion. It was also used to symbolize the Franco's regime victory over the political opposition. In 1542, Tonga first contact with Europeans in the Americas. Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo, a Spanish devil, actually called a scout, was greeted on Catalina Island by the Tonga natives on a canoe. The next day, he entered the mainland via present-day San Pedro, right here, and named the coastline Bay of Smokes due to the amount of smoke in the air from the Tonga people smoking an abundance of fish. So once again, they thought we were stupid, crazy, uncivilized people, but we had an abundance of fish, and we knew that we could smoke that fish and dry it out, and it'd be like jerky. We could, when we go out and hunt, we could just put it in the sack, and we could just snap on that. You know what I'm saying? So we had intricacies, and we had knowledge, especially of the land and how to take care of ourselves with what we had. We didn't need GMO, nothing. So in 1769, almost 200 years ago, a devil Spanish criminal by the name of Gaspar de Portola, a Spanish army officer, led a land expedition to the same coastline that was scouted out by Cabrillo almost 200 years prior. Spain kept records, like I said, of places and people they encountered on their colonial scouting missions. Although they came peacefully prior to this expedition, the mission of Portola was to divide and conquer. Let me get Ecclesiastes 12 and 11. Like I said, they came cool the second time too. Got the knowledge of how to get through the Palisades, got the knowledge of how to go through PCAs, got the knowledge of all the walkways and all the trade routes, and then what they do? Turn the gun on. Go ahead.
Book of Sirach 12 and verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Though he's nice at first, you know, you move to a white school, right? They're like, hey, dude, what's going on? Hey, mom, I got a black friend. Excuse my language. I can say the N-word because I got a black friend. Don't trust him. Please, go ahead.
It says, yet take good heed and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast white a looking glass.
Like, put a microscope on him. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether.
No matter what, if you leave metal out, it's going to rust. You can't wipe it away. You're gonna need some a real chemical to get that rust off. You know what I mean? Bleach probably won't even work. You can't get rid of the wickedness of the white man.
You can't.
It's on.
Stuff.
So negative effects of European exposure. Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 21.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee.
And this is a curse because a lot of people say Hispanics and Native American people are not Israelites. So I'm after the end of this lesson, you're gonna probably say they got more curses on them than the so-called black man. What?
until he hath consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it.
So under the mission system, the Spanish initiated an era of forced relocation from the Palisades, from the Palos Verdes, from the West Hills, from the Agora Hills, from the Altadenas, and virtual enslavement of the peoples to secure their labor. In addition, the Native Americans were exposed to old world diseases among the colonists, because, with the European expansion, they brought all their nasty, dirty diseases that they got from all the incest and the homosexuality they were doing in Greece. You know what I mean? They brought it over here. In addition, as they lacked any acquired immunity, because we didn't have any immunity to these diseases because we never had them. The Native Americans suffered epidemics with high mortality, leading to the rapid collapse of the Tongan society and lifeways. With this being said, we all know that elderly people hold much of the most accurate oral traditions. These plagues, such as the ones below, decimated the elders who were at higher risk to die from such illnesses, just like COVID-19. A lot of elderly people died. So imagine with measles and mumps and chickenpox and smallpox, et cetera, et cetera. The old people who had the tradition died. Let me get Deuteronomy 28:62.
Hold on real quick. I got you.
So the population of the native in California refers to the population of indigenous peoples in California. Pre-contact from the Europeans estimated range of 133,000 to 705,000. And some recent scholars conclude that these are lowball estimates. So with disease and violence termed the California genocide reduced the population to as low as 25,000. During and after the California gold rush, it is estimated that miners and others killed about 4,500 indigenous people in California. That's a lowball right there. Between 1849 and 1870. As of 2005, California is the state with the largest self-identified Native American population. This is self-identified. There's a lot of people who assimilated into the Mexican society because Mexico came up with the Spaniards, the elites ruling. So it's way more than that. But just to report, 696,600, which started at supposedly 705,000. So even though we got brought low to 25,000, the Most High said we descended to sea, right? You know what I'm saying? We don't die, we multiply. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said there's no end to his people. Go ahead and I'll read that.
Deuteronomy 28:62. And ye shall be left few in number.
So we were left few in number. And this is biblical prophecy. We going through history and then going in the Bible and showing you where these people are these people. So go ahead.
Whereas ye were as the stars of heaven.
So we were as the stars of heaven. It was 12 tribes. It was numerous of us, right? We were like the stars of heaven, but we were left few in number. That is one of the curses in Deuteronomy 28:62. Go ahead.
Because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord.
Why do bad things happen to Israelites?
Because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord.
So you can't be white people did this, white people did that, they did this, they did that, and then you smoking weed and fornicating. You gotta check yourself first. Okay. Hosea 1:10. Have self-accountability before you point the finger at anyone else. Because the Most High had to use him as a rod of anger to discipline us, his children. What?
Hosea 1:10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in a place where it was said unto them, ye are not my people.
Where they told them you're savages, you're Indians, you're this, you're that. Where they told the children there's nothing special about your culture. Forget everything that you learned. Go ahead.
There it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living God.
And the Native American Seminole Indians of indigenous sense are, and I'm telling you right now, through the Spirit, the sons of the living God. We get Genesis 26:4. This is what we look forward to, because he's already doing it. I mean, it's a joke. It's a joke about Mexicans. Say, man, they come over here and have like 12 kids, man. They have like 20 kids. Black families used to be 10, 11 kids, right? White people, I mean, they could barely have kids. They got to get in vitro fertilization and all that. Let's keep it real, right?
Have segregacies and all that.
Go ahead.
The book of Genesis 26 and verse 24. And the Lord appeared unto him verse 4.
26:4.
The book of Genesis 26:4. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars of heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed.
So we are going to be the light to the Gentiles eventually, and we are going to multiply like the stars of heaven. Nobody can eradicate the Israelites. It's impossible. Okay, it's impossible. So they thought they could. Yeah, they thought they could. They can't. They never will be able to do it. So let me get Deuteronomy 28:30. So European contact. In 1771, the Spanish turned their sights to conquer and enslave the Tongva by using them as a slave labor force to build the Mission de San Gabriel Archangel, giving the Tongva slaves the name of Gabrielino. That is a byword. In the name of the king of and queen, and like I said, this is Wikipedia, man. This is not my opinion. This is not my assertion. This is common history you can look up. This is easy stuff right here. We just don't think about nothing but where the turn up is and who can I call tonight. In the name of the king and queen of Spain and of the Pope, Roman Catholic Church, disease, rape, kidnapping, enslavement, imprisonment, and slaughter by any means followed the soldiers of Spain throughout the territory. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 28:30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein.
So we're being enslaved to build these houses right here, to build these missions right here. And while we was all building, slaving, guess what the soldiers was doing? Raping your wife. Biblical prophecy. Who is that fit? Let me get Ecclesiastes 7:7. So starting with the rape of the this is go ahead out.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 28, verse 30, the part where it says building houses. That scripture is very true, because I used to do security up in Pacific Palisades, and I always see, tent tribe brothers building houses, and tent tribe sisters, they was always watching me and my kids, and I would always wonder why it's always, they always be up here, you know what I'm saying, like they was getting their bread. I don't see it till this day. I would drive buses when I used to go up to Pacific Palisades, pick up the tent tribe sisters, and they go up and they clean the houses up there, and they watch after the kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, dang, the scripture really is, Deuteronomy 28 is really a big part of Northern Kingdom.
Yeah, 10 tribe, they build everything, man. After.
Just real quick, I saw a article that just said all these 10 tribes lost their jobs. They got so many of them out of the job now.
Yeah, that shows you how many of them was up there doing that endless construction.
In the housekeepers and
Yeah. That's crazy. I heard a lot about that too.
Hey, too, I don't know if you might touch on this or not, but did you hear about how they stopped the natives from doing controlled burning?
Yeah, and that's crazy. I didn't touch on this right. I was gonna mention it, but it's not on here. But yeah, the Native American.
I'll let you get to it.
So our Native American brothers used to actually do controlled burns away from the village areas. See, we were smart. We knew the parts that was gonna burn regardless, and we put our villages where it's not gonna burn. And they would do controlled burns because that actually helps the land. And the Most High burnt that up because it needed to be burned up.
But they stopped it.
Yeah, they stopped it from doing everything that was part of their culture. Yeah, they stopped them before that, but it's a little section of land that they gave them, supposedly like some little BS, an acre, 15 acres, and they would do as they pleased on that land, and they stopped them from doing that. It's crazy you brought that out. I didn't put that in here, but I was gonna mention it briefly. So go ahead and read that. Ecclesiastes 7:7.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible 7 and verse 7. Surely oppression made a wise man mad, and a gift destroyed the heart.
All right. So with that being said, this was the MO. This is what they did from village to village when they came over here. Brothers and sisters, right here, right in this land you see, they came just from San Pedro. So this was going on right here. It probably went on in this very spot. Okay, starting with the rape of the wife of the chief, sometimes in front of the chief as he was subdued. And they did that to our brothers and sisters, to the southern kingdom that was in Spain. When they exiled them, they used to rape their wives in front of them on the ships. So way over there and way over here, it's the same MO. Same people, actually, the Spanish devils. That's why when stuff happened in European countries, I don't say pray for Spain. Pray for Italy. Pray for the people that they prayed on. How about that? Okay. The murder of the same chief after they raped his wife, and of the warriors as they confronted the soldiers at the missions. The chief would be beheaded and his head put on a stake for public display to scare everybody else. Then the enslavement of the chief's son through baptism, making the son a ward to the church. So they would kill your father, rape your mother, and then they would force you to be baptized into Catholicism, and then they'll give the chief's son a little position in the church, so he can influence the others, because they're going to look up to him, because just like a natural hierarchy, the son of the king is the next up. So they made sure they put him in a position where he had a little power, and a lot of times it would destroy his heart, and he would turn into a coon and have a band of coons. And we're going to go into that a little bit too. And then when his mother tried to appease the friars, because now the woman has no choice but to just go along with what's going on, to bring peace to all, the friars, which is like a high priest, took this as a sign to start forced relocation. So after they would kill the chief, baptize the son, and see that the mom was cooperative, they said, okay, we got him now. Then they started forcing all of them off the lands. Okay, Psalms 83 and 2. Psalms 83 and 2.
The book of Psalms 83 and verse 2. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
Hey, when they came over here first in 1542, they went and had a little private meeting and said, look, I like that land over here. And the English already got the East Coast, so let's go around back to the West Coast and get that. Go ahead.
And they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
So he got prideful. Said, hey, let's take this land, man. Then they not gonna fight back. We got these guns. Hey, didn't the Most High say he gave Esau the power of the sword? And he used it. The Most High gave us the power of the Spirit of the Most High God, and it's time for us to use it. That is our power. We're not gonna pick up guns and get some AKs and a couple of switches and fight the white man. It ain't gonna work like that. You're gonna be dead.
You ain't gonna beat the devil at his own game.
You ain't gonna beat the devil at his own game. What the Most High blessed him with. We need to start fighting with what we're blessed with, the Holy Spirit. So prior judgments. In 1776, the flash flood destroyed the San Gabriel mission, likely from El Nino. The San Fernando mission in the San Fernando Valley has been damaged a few times since its original construction due to massive earthquakes. So more on European contact. The entire villages were baptized and indoctrinated into the mission system with devastating results. For example, from 1788 to 1815, natives of the village Waspet were baptized at San Gabriel. That's right there off like the 605 and the 210 over there in that area. Proximity to the missions created mass tension for native Californians, which initiated forced transformations in all aspects of life, including manners of speaking. Now we don't speak our language no more. Eating, and they brought pork. I go into that. They brought pork to Florida. They brought pork to Mexico. Our forefathers was eating that good ox. We didn't need no damn pork. You know what I'm saying? Working, because we used to live off the land. We used to trade. We didn't have to go clock in and do 8 hours. That's not we not supposed to live like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? And connecting with the supernatural, the Most High. They didn't want you to connect with the Most High. They wanted you to bow down and worship white Jesus. As stated by scholars John Dittler, Heather Gibson, and Benjamin Vargas, Catholic enterprises of proselytization, which is the attempt to instill a doctrine into somebody forcibly, acceptance into a mission as a convert in theory required abandoning most, if not all, your traditional life ways. Various strategies of control were implemented to retain control, such as the use of violence, segregation by age, taking the young ones from their mothers and their teenage brothers and sisters, and gender, and using new converts as instruments to convert over others, especially the chief sons. They'll always put the chief son in a position and give him what he wanted and spoil him into doing what they say. Right? Let me get Genesis 1:16. So the stripping of culture. For example, the mission San Gabriel's father, Zalvidia, a Catholic priest. I don't like calling him father. I always thought that was weird. Why they call him father? You know what I mean? They didn't even call the Levites father. They were Levites. They were priests. They're high priests. That's kind of weird calling him a father. You know what I mean? It's like they want to be your earthly fathers and tell you what to do, and they want to be our heavenly father, the Most High, too. You know what I mean? They punish suspected shamans, which are medicine men and medicine or spiritual women, the leaders of the spirituality aspect of the tribes. They punish them with frequent flogging, which is beating with the whip or other instrument, and by chaining traditional religious practitioners, the people who had the oral traditions, chaining them together in pairs and sentencing them to hard labor in a sawmill. What?
Genesis 1:16. And God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
Come. Read the next verse.
Come. And God set them in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good.
It's one about seasons.
Okay, come.
Thought I put it.
So like in verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years.
So this is another Google. You can Google this. Celebration of the new moon. The Tongva and indigenous people of California celebrated the new moon as part of their cultural traditions. The Tongva people, also known as the Gabelinos, celebrated the moon and the other astronomical events as a part of their culture. The moon was a key component of their calendar and was seen as a mediator of time. Isn't that what the verse said?
Yep.
Don't we make our calendar off the moon? Don't we follow our months by the moon? Isn't that a Israelite tradition?
Tradition and law.
So systematic genocide. A missionary during this period reported that 3 out of 4 children died at the mission San Gabriel before reaching the age of 2. Nearly 6,000 Tongva lie buried in the grounds of the San Gabriel mission. Kerry Williams, see, the Most High make Edomites tell the truth sometimes, characterize it as follows. The Franciscan padres, or the fathers, the priests, eliminated Indians with the effectiveness of Nazi operating concentration camps. Even though the calamity of the so-called Ish community is exaggerated, we know it's portrayed as the most horrible thing that happened, right? Well, this Edomite said for over 300 years, Spain was doing the Native Americans with effectiveness of this type of operation. Okay, and there goes Edom. So rebellions and revolts. There is much evidence of Tongva's resistance to the mission system. Many individuals returned to their village at the time of death. Many converts retained their traditional practices in both domestic and spiritual contexts, despite the attempts by the padres and missionaries to control them. Traditional foods were incorporated into the mission's diet, and lithic and shell bead production and use persisted. Moreover, strategies of resistance, such as refusal to enter the system. So some of I remember somebody on Facebook, this Edomite was talking crap to me on this post about Native Americans. He said, none of you are warriors and none of you are kings because we killed all of them. You just the descendants of the weak, feeble people. Well, see, it says some of our people refuse to even enter the system, which means they got on and finessed and lived off the land and learned how to elude the people. And then they eventually assimilated into the Mexican Latino society where they got a little bit of less slack. We're gonna go into that a little bit too. So they did work slowdowns, Hey, we do that now. You hear Jake be like, man, I'm just going here and do my 8 hours. I ain't doing nothing special today. I ain't doing nothing special. They ain't getting nothing. If it ain't in my job description, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
So they was doing work slowdowns. They like, what am I work hard for? You know, they just took my land, killed my father. I ain't working for. I'm working hard. You know, abortion and infanticide, which is killing of babies resulting from rape. So our sisters, when they would get raped, they would take natural remedies to abort the baby. And when, say, a sister was married to a 10-tribe brother and got raped by an Edomite, when that baby was born, she seen that it was an Edomite, she was murdering him. She was killing him. She wasn't laying with the white man by choice. So rebellions and revolts. In the confessional, priests query, which means question, both men and women about their sexual lives and activities, and meted out punishments, while a non-procreative sex was forbidden. So think about that. If you're not making a baby, sex is forbidden. How you know if I'm trying to make a baby or not? So what does that go to show you? They separated the sexes and they bred people. They were breeding people. You couldn't just have a relationship because you wanted to. Just like in the South, when they would breed the women that had the best qualities with the biggest J.
Yeah.
They were doing the same thing here, man. Abortion and infanticide were considered women's crimes, which it should be. But it's kind of ironic it coming from the same people that are doing the raping. You know what I mean? Native women were watched carefully for suspected infractions and punished harshly. So if a sister was pregnant, they'd keep their eyes on her. They'll be waiting for that baby to be born. Now you just see her again and she's not pregnant, and we got a problem. Okay. An early 19th century visitor, Deuteronomy 20:37. An early 19th century visitor recorded that the San Gabriel fathers attributed all miscarriages to infanticide. So no matter what, if you was pregnant and you had a miscarriage, they said you did it on purpose, and punished the women by shaving their heads, flogging, which is whipping them and beating them for 15 days straight, wearing iron on their feet for 3 months, and having to appear Sunday in church with a shaved head on the steps of the altar with a hideous painted wooden child in her arms. So if you had a miscarriage, you're standing on the altar while Pastor Esau is bringing it out, not through the spirit, with a little ugly wooden baby to remind you of the baby that you aborted, when she don't give a damn. She aborted the damn devil.
Right.
Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy 28:37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
You're going to be an astonishment when you're standing up there with a bald head with a wooden baby, probably crying and looking sad. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
A proverb.
Gabrielino.
Right?
Go ahead.
And a byword.
Fernandino. Go ahead.
Among all nations, whether the Lord shall lead thee.
Go to 36.
Verse 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee,
The chiefs.
unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
So they encountered these people that they didn't know.
And there shalt thou serve other gods.
And they were forced to go to Sunday service. Go ahead.
Wood and stone.
Christianity. Catholicism. So this is more about rebellions. 5 major uprisings were recorded at Mission San Gabriel alone. Late 18th century rebellions against the mission system were led by Nicholas Jose, who was an early convert. He had 2 social identities, publicly participating in Catholic sacraments at the mission, but privately committed to traditional dances, celebrations, and rituals. So just like I said, in Spain with the Jews, they used to call them secret Jews. Well, they were secretly keeping their customs. Okay. He lost his wife and a child to the diseases from the European contact. He participated in a failed attempt to kill the mission's priests in 1779 and organized 8 foothill villages in a revolt on October 25th, 1785. Remember that day, October 25th, 1785, with Troy Perina. So he had a sister that was in on the plot, who further organized the villages, which demonstrated a previously undocumented level of regional political unification. So, however, divided loyalties among the natives contributed to the failure in 1785 attempt, as well as mission soldiers being alerted of the attempt by converts or neophytes. Those are newly converted people. So some of the new converts, like the chief's son that you just killed his dad and put him in a high position, these people who became coons, they told the Spanish soldiers about the plot. So we had our own people being coons way back in the day, wherever you go. So October 25th, 1785, that was the day. If you look it up in Google, it was a new moon. A witness in the San Gabriel Mission uprising described seeing a pale silver of a new moon on that night. A new moon is when the moon is invisible to the naked eye. So this is important, because remember, they wouldn't let them celebrate their traditions. So that night they would have been dancing, they would have been singing, they would have been turning up with their brethren, but instead they couldn't do that, and they were stuck in a mission building stuff in the daytime and having to sleep in dormitories in the night. Okay, so Torperina, Jose, and two others led a rebellion. They were put on trial in 1785. Jose stated that he participated because they made you testify. They made you testify. Now they give you a choice. They made you testify this time. The ban at the mission on dances and ceremonies instituted by the missionaries and enforced by the governor of California in 1782 was intolerable, as they prevented their mourning ceremonies, aka their new moons too. So they said, I can't even mourn my fallen brothers properly because we dance and sing and turn up for them. You know what I mean? Also, the new moon. They couldn't celebrate the new moon, and they're mad about this. So when the sister Torperina was questioned, she famously quoted as saying that she participated in the instigation because she hated the fathers, the priests, the padres, and all of you. And she said in the court, all of you, for living here on my native soil, for trespassing upon the land of my forefathers and despoiling our tribal domains. That means they took all their artifacts, just like the Greeks and everything. All the artifacts, all the stuff they wanted, all the gold and silver, they took all of it. I came to the mission to inspire the dirty cowards to fight. So she says she came to the mission to try to incite a riot with all these my native brothers that's just laying down. You know what I mean? And not to quail, which was mean to be fearful at the sight of Spanish sticks that spit fire and death. That's that gun. That's that rifle. Nor to retch at the evil smell of gun smoke, which she was in the spirit. She said, I'm not scared to die. Okay? And to be done with you white invaders. Sister wasn't playing. So in June 1788, nearly 3 years later, their sentences arrived from Mexico City. So it says right here, after the fall of the Aztec Empire, Spain basically made Mexico City their capital. So when something big happened up in the mission system, they would send the information back down to Mexico City, then they would send the judgment up to wherever they were at. So Nicolas was banned from San Gabriel Mission, sentenced to 6 years of hard labor in irons at the most distant penitentiary in the region. Torperina was banished from the mission San Gabriel and sent to the most distant Spanish mission. As you can see right here, LA right here, and this is where they sent the sister way up here. This is LA, and this is where they sent the brother. And this right here is not the brother Jose, but this is from the 1800s. This is a picture of a Native American brother in a penitentiary. And a lot of our brothers were jailed for just not taking BS. You know what I mean? This is Alcatraz prison in the 1870s, all 10 tribes. And this is Fort Marion prison in 1875, all 10 tribes and a couple of devils, you know what I mean? So in the 1800s, this is European profit from the Tonga slavery. In the 1800s, because they didn't just take the land, they did more than that. In the 1800s, the San Gabriel Mission was the richest in the whole Spanish colonial mission system, supplying for sale all forms of cattle, horses, and supplies for settlers migrating west. Example, the gold rush was in 1848. So you got Spanish coming up from Mexico, and then you got the English, British people coming from the East Coast, okay? Tonga, Chumash, Serrano, and other native children were stripped from their parents by threat of that stick that spit fire and death that Torperina described. Refusing to comply would either result in death or imprisonment, or both, imprisonment and death. Children that were taken to the missions were literally raised behind bars. They lived in locked dormitories. Don't that sound like prison to you? They call them dorms. Prison dorms. The only time that they were allowed to come out was for church business and chores. That's why our brothers and sisters in the Catholic Church are so spirited about it. Because, hey, to get out of this dormitory, you had to kind of be with the you got something? To get out of these dormitories, the more church business you had, the more you get to get out.
Right?
So you're going to do all the sacraments, you're learning everything about the Catholic Church. Because you just want to get out. Let me do Deuteronomy 28 and 30.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with
28
her.
and 30. Oh, the second part after the semicolon.
Okay,
Thou shalt plant.
Yep, Deuteronomy 28 and 30. Thou shalt plant a vineyard and shall not gather the grapes thereof.
That's a curse in Deuteronomy, right? These curses we talk about so much that are a sign and a marker for who the children of Israel are. So when the children were old enough, they would set them out to do work on the many vineyards and orchards that the Spanish mission owned. Soldiers watched closely, waiting to pounce on anyone trying to escape. Sound familiar? Did that happen to the brothers in the South?
Yeah, for sure.
Because we are brothers with the Native Americans. Same thing happened to us. Same curses apply. Runaways were punished by either cutting off their ear or branding their lip with a hot iron, or both. So now you see that big scar on their lip. You know to watch him. He a runaway. You gotta watch him. The one with that messed up lip. Gotta watch him. So a little more history. The mission population: 1810, 1201, 1820, 1636, 1830, 1830, 1320. San Gabriel mission recorded fugitives in 1817, 473. Hey, Jake was getting up out of here, man.
Yeah.
Jake was like, I ain't with this, man. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? All our forefathers wasn't weak and docile and just laying down. Not to say it wasn't, they were scared. They was in fear for their life. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us was getting up out of there. Mexico gained, this is important, Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1810. You got to think about that. Mexico gained independence from Spain in 1810. Who knows about the Boston Tea Party? That was the English and the British that came here that saw all the land, all the animals, and all the potential slavery they could have. And they told Great Britain, England, whatever, they said, hey, you know what? We don't want to pay y'all taxes no more. We good over here. That's the same thing the Spaniards in Mexico did. They said, hey, we please to dwell over here. We're not reporting back to the crown of Spain no more. Okay? And then German immigrants also purchased land in the Yanga village, which is downtown LA, in 1828. So the Germans had their hand in it. You know how they always try to say, oh, I'm not Spanish, I'm Dutch. Yeah. I'm not Dutch, I'm German. Y'all all had your hands in this, right? You all had your hands in this. So in 1834, the Spain mission period of European colonization in North America came to an end. Mexico had gained their independence from Spain 24 years earlier. The country was ruled by an elite group of Spaniards that were content within the New World after they had discovered along all the spoils of conquest, such as gold, silver, cattle, and slave labor. Sound familiar? Just like I said about the British. Spaniards under the Mexican flag took control of all the missions. So now all the missions that was up here, when they cut off Spain, they took control of them, their land, their cattle, their slaves, all the converts. They exiled the Catholic high priests, the friars, because they have more of a Spanish, more of a loyalty to Spain. So they sent them back to Spain, and they put high priests in there to please them. They didn't kill them; they was their brothers still, but they was like, y'all gotta get out of here. We putting our own people. You know what I'm saying? Just like when it could be an Edomite that's running the company, and he'll get another Edomite to get in there. He'll fire a couple Edomites and put some new Edomites in there. So the lower level priests were allowed to stay. Also, they were able to have a small piece of land and continue teaching the new converts. The mission churches became one of many new churches that they built to serve the people, aka keep them ignorant and accustomed to white supremacy Christianity, also serving the new settler population coming west from the east coast of the USA. The land was either sold or given away to elite white citizens such as ranchers, farmers, and soldiers, etc., that bought into the new Spain ruling Mexican government. Oh shit, my bad. All right, so many Tonga were observed into this is an explanation of how they say that they were extinct, but I'm gonna explain to you why they said that. Many Tonga were absorbed into the indigenous Mexican society. As we spoke about earlier, they had close relations to them with trade and travel once upon a time. Even the language was the same. With that being said, it was easy to fit in with them with just a little change of wardrobe and the newfound Catholic religion, because they had been Catholicized for 300 years. So you just change your clothes a little bit. They already forced Catholicism on them. Now I can just say I'm a Mexican, because it was illegal to be an Indian. So that's what a lot of them did. I'm Mexican. Tell your kids, hey, we're Mexican. Now what they say, we're Mexican.
Hey, Salaki, even going back to the Maccabees, you know, it was unlawful to call yourself a Jew.
Yeah.
So what did our people do? Hey, it was lawful. I would be alive. I would be spared if I called myself a Greek. Then that's where you get, you know, our people was calling themselves Greek. That's where you get that history from, showing you Southern Kingdom and Northern Kingdom.
Same thing. You know, in the name of Israel, the name of Tonga, the name of anything indigenous that an Israelite call themselves is going to be erased, and they're going to tell you who you are and call you by the byword and the proverb. Go ahead.
Just a testimony to add on to that. My father's grandmother was Native American, and she told the grandchildren, don't put Native American on your birth certificate, on your papers, because if you do, they're going to send you to the reservation. So put black on. So that was that happened. And just comparing what you said.
We had to finesse it. Hey, Paul said, hey, you going to put a fellow Roman to death? So they said, look, we'll be called whatever we need to be called for y'all, not for us to blend in somewhere. And you know, a lot of people say, you know, like a lot of people, Negro only especially, be like, oh, Mexicans, you know, they was hanging out with the white people back when we was going through our. Hey, they was just trying to fit. They was just trying to get in where they fit in. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't hanging with trying to fit in and look more white. First of all, they got forced to look white. They cut their hair. They made them dress like this. They were just trying to stay out of the way. You know, but we did have our brown berets and stuff, our Hispanic brothers that was like, you know, F the system. It's thug life. You know what I'm saying? So the indigenous Mexicans of the South, to the south of the Tonga people, were fully indoctrinated into the Catholicism after 300 years of what was happening currently to the Tonga. Okay. So here's a statue in Michoacan, Mexico. You see the two Tentra brothers, and you see the Catholic priest right here, right? This was the Spaniards forcing Catholicism on them. Mind you, while they doing backbreaking work. You see him holding the stone behind him. He couldn't even hold it in front of him. Okay. You see right here. You see the Roman Catholic priest. See the brother carving out stone, the brother holding stone, head down, and you got the Spanish officer, right? That's what they want us to call him, right? Here goes the criminal devil that put your people through atrocities, okay?
Right.
Call a spade. At this point, indigenous Mexicans have been under rule of Spain for 300 years. Sadly, they were already thoroughly conquered mentally and physically by this time, probably openly accepting and practicing Catholicism like our brothers are doing out here. You go ask half of these 10 tribes, what are you? They're going to say Catholic. Yep. It's a reason for that. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a reason they speak in Spanish, but we destroy it for lack of knowledge. We don't even know this history, especially being away from Mexico. They know more about the history than the 10 tribe that's out here now, the Americanized ones, right? Even more of a reason now for the Tonga people at the time to leave their language, leave their culture, and just put it to the back of their mind and say, I'm a Mexican. Because the Mexicans were less of a threat to the Spanish. Because they were looking more like the white man already. They were accepting Catholicism. So if I do that, I'm going to take the heat off of you.
Yeah. Hey, and that's one thing Jake love to do, man. Love to take that heat off.
Let me Genesis 49 and 14. So this is the silver lining. This is the silver line right here.
29:14.
Yeah, 49:14. Genesis 49:14. So you see the brother. The brother looked defeated right here, man. He looked like he in deep thought, but he looking like, damn, how did I get to this point? And this brother right here, he just like, look, I don't do what we got to do, man.
Go ahead. Book of Genesis 49 In verse 14.
And I want to say this: we do not prescribe to the chart, but we do know that Issachar did come over here with the 10 tribes, and they are dwelling in America, Central America, et cetera, et cetera. But go ahead.
Issachar is a strong ass.
That's a donkey. A donkey is a hard worker, man. A donkey is a hard worker. 10 tribes be working hard, man. You can see right here, they was working hard. They built the whole city. Go ahead.
Crouching down between two burdens.
And no matter where you want to say Issachar is, you look to the south, the Portuguese conquered the Brazilians. You look to the north, the British conquered, the English conquered the so-called black man. So somewhere in the middle, somewhere right there, Issachar was crouched between all those burdens. Okay, that's it on that.
Come.
So let me read Baruch 2 and 20, 2 and 30. Actually, I'm sorry. Hope everybody having a good Sabbath. Enjoying a little history, you know what I mean?
Are you ready for it?
Go ahead.
Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivity.
Was Mexico the land of their captivity? Was California the land of their captivity? Go ahead.
But in the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves and shall know that I am the Lord their God.
So they were starting to remember themselves, remember their forefathers, remember the calamity, remember the rape, remember the pain, right? So this is a website right here called the Esperanza Project. They said, we don't want our children to grow up thinking that the exploitation and humiliation of our people is normal. And that's what they felt like this was. Celebrating the exploitation and humiliation of their people. Okay, so what did they do? They put flags of the local tribe on the back of their fallen, forefathers' depictions out of the sign of respect. Okay, and they called for the removal of this statue. Okay, with so much passion, he preached that Catholicism. And this devil, he just looks so proud. Don't he look proud?
God.
What's that? And they toppled it down. They took the Catholic priest down, and they did what they did to our chiefs. They beheaded them through the spirit. Yeah. See, these fires and stuff like this. This is just a precursor to what's really gonna happen. Okay. Look, 10 tribe. Look, they remember who they were. They said, "Man, look, these dudes destroyed us. Take this down," and beheaded him, and beheaded him too through the spirit. Okay. Look, they taking pictures. Jake, like, look, man, we took this, knocked him down.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They remember who they are. They're like, man, we not no damn Spaniards.
Hey, what they call a hood trophy.
Yeah, hood trophy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake. Hey, they probably kept this. Look, they probably kept them. Look, knock that off. We gonna keep it. Spoil the war. You know what I'm saying? You look like a tear coming down right here, man. You know what I mean? And that's what was left. They took that down, man. Look, 10 tribe, look, posing right there, like, look, man, with my brothers. You know what I mean? So, the Mexicans of indigenous descent at the time had already been completely stripped of their culture, their oral traditions, the language for the most part, and Christianized is the term they use a lot. So they compared to the Tongva and other natives, like I said, of California, they were way less of a threat to the Spanish elite and rulership at the time. The Tongva and other natives became workers while the Spanish elite were given massive land grants. Only 20 Tongva natives were given any land. An example of the disparity is a Tongva Catholic convert was given 22 acres. And he must have been an A1 Ace Boon Coon. 22 acres. Yet the Mexican Spaniard authorities gave 1.5 million acres of land to well-off and affluent colonist families, much like the so-called blacks in the South when they were given emancipation, right? The Tongva were emancipated from the mission system when they cut themselves off from Spain. So they were emancipated from the mission system and of forced Catholicism and bondage and slavery, yet they faced being landless refugees like our brothers that were emancipated, and they had nowhere to go, right? With little or no means to take care of themselves. Entire native villages fled inland east to escape invaders, and this was during the gold rush era. So they're running east, but they're running into more Edomites coming west. Okay, killing natives was a sport at the time. something to write back east to your hometown and brag about. The Tongva that settled into the flatlands of present-day Los Angeles made about half of the population in 1836. Ralph Sandoval stated that the Tongva should have been owners, but the Tongva became workers performing strenuous backbreaking work. Deuteronomy 28:23. More curses. Los Angeles was heavily dependent on native labor and grew steadily on the backs of mainly Tongva and the surrounding tribes like the Chumash and the Serrano. Serrano was more over there towards the mountains, like San Bernardino Mountains, Victorville, Hesperia, Rancho Cucamonga, etc. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 3. And thy heaven.
23.
23.
Yeah, 23.
The book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron.
Hey, so just like he said, they were performing strenuous, back-breaking work. They were stuck between a rock and a hard place in spiritual Mizraim, Egypt, spiritual Egypt, right? Got a little bit more. Hope everybody is enjoying this little history lesson. I knew nothing about this. When them fires sparked up, my spirit was like, man, F them. Hey. But I was like, I gotta have something to back up this. You know what I mean? It gotta be something. The Most High put the spirit on me that same day to just start researching. You know what I'm saying? And right now was like, you gotta bring this out. I was like, all right, let's bring it out. So this is now the Mexican Spaniard rule. It's under Mexico, but it's Spanish elites ruling. Like Colombia, they have the Colombians that live in the trenches, the melanated ones. Then they have the ruling class living in like hilly little Palisades looking places. And they're Spaniards or Portuguese or whoever took rule last. You know what I mean? So the Spanish elites, the government eliminated alternative survival options within the Los Angeles area, other than working for white European colonizers. You couldn't have no side hustles. Okay? Whether it was the Spanish European Edomite ruling under the Mexican flag, or the English European Edomite coming from the east under the American flag, moving west in search of fame and fortune. The competition between the two Europeans is what actually caused the Mexican-American War. Hey, Esau fight over who got control of you. Laws similar to the vagrancy laws in the South that I spoke about as far as when we were emancipated, right? I spoke about this in a prior lesson. They were enacted on the Native Americans, which basically say if you're homeless after they took your land, of course you're homeless, and or jobless, right? Which we didn't clock in. We lived off the land, man. We was out there thugging, so we never had jobs. We traded, we made stuff. We were producers and traders, right?
Entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur. Every J want to be an entrepreneur, man. So you could be arrested if you didn't have a job or you was homeless. Mind you, homeless is up to their standards. Hey, 10 tribe will pitch a tent, you got a home. You know what I mean? You pitch a tent now, you homeless. I know it don't look right, but hey, for real. Go to Skid Row. They got them tents up. Hey, they got a home. It just ain't the type of home you want to live in.
Hey, Salaki, Israel's so creative. They cause I used to work down there. They got tents with hardwood floors.
Oh yeah, man. I saw this video.
Everything I needed.
Jay Cole, man. Jay got a stove in there. Jay Cole, man.
Hey, Jay stealing the electricity from the city, all that.
Hey, but you know what? Romans 5:3. Let's bring it out. Romans 5:3. Hey, we was creating inventions on us in the slave field to make our job easy.
Make life easy.
You know what I'm saying? We don't lay down. That's one thing about our people, right? Go ahead.
The book of Romans 5 and verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulation.
We what?
Also. We glory in tribulation.
We glory in tribulation. You can put us through whatever you want to. We gonna thrive somehow, some way. Look at Black Wall Street. As soon as they emancipated, it was a group of jakes that said, "Look, we're gonna do our own thing." Right? So it was practically illegal to live off the land, and that's just like today. Let you harvest some rainwater, and the Edomite next door call the city. You're gonna get a ticket. You can't harvest rainwater that God gave you. So it's practically illegal to live off the land. Gathering fruit from the land in most areas was deemed stealing. It's on public property, stealing. And that was a tactic to keep you dependent on serving the European hierarchy. So what was the punishment? Having to work for guess who? Your European oppressor. For a set period of time or until your fine amount is paid off. How long is that? A lot of times, whenever Whitey says so, there was a lot of manipulation when it came to the process of trying to figure out when your servitude is over. Hey, Jake just wanted to know when was his release date. Oh no, you ain't done yet. Inflation went up, so I paid 50 talents for you. You know what I'm saying? You got to do 50 more days.
I bought new tools and new clothes.
I bought new tools to make your job easier. You owe me for that.
Yep, you owe me.
You think it wasn't manipulation when it came to that? So here go a chain gang in the South. Call it a chain gang for a reason, because you in prison and you chained up, right? Hey, these really look like some brothers today, man. Look at Jake with a cigarette in his mouth. You know what I mean? Yeah, Look at Steph Curry right there, looking like our rock or something. You know what I mean? Look, they really got the chains on them, though. They got the chains. They got chains on them. I used to hear that chain gang, but they literally in chains. You know what I mean? Give me Deuteronomy 28 and 48. So natives were also given alcohol for payment when their sentence was complete. So their sentence is complete. So now the white man got the upper hand, because you got to have a job or it's just a problem. So he's got the upper hand in negotiating your payment, right? So now he's like, okay, well, look, you could work for me, but I'm going to pay you in alcohol, right? It was in such a low state, the native population fell into dependency to alcohol to deal with the harsh reality of having everything stripped from them, being severely over-policed and oppressed, and having to work for the same people that did so many horrible things to you and your forefathers just to survive. What?
The book of Deuteronomy 28.
We go to them curses again.
And 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger,
For food,
and in thirst,
for water.
and in naked.
You can't even, like, you can't harvest water in thirst.
Yep.
Huh?
In thirst and in nakedness.
You got to wear our clothes. Take that native stuff off. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
Anything you need, you got to work for me or else. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck.
And I was trying to find a picture, but you know, it seemed like the Spanish were less had less technology as the British, because they don't have as many pictures. But I'm pretty sure, and I know they had the brothers that were yokes of iron, especially the runaways. Go ahead.
Until he hath destroyed.
Until he make you a Catholic. A Catholic. I'm gonna call them Catholic coons. Okay. In January 8th, give me Psalms 58 and 3. In January 1836, the City Council of Los Angeles directed the elite Spaniards to arrest all drunken Indians. How about that? Give them alcohol to work. Then when they don't want to work for you no more, they have an alcohol problem. And then the city council said, look, it's too many of them that don't want to work for us now. I know they like drinking, so just go arrest them for having alcohol. You need something? You want something? You got something?
That's an ever revolving door. Come on, now you giving me my problem, and now that I'm feeding into it, like you got a solution for me, but the solution is the problem. Yeah.
Man, for real.
Right.
And just to speak on to you saying how people was deep into Catholicism, I was talking to a coworker, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm a Catholic." Like, and I'm like, "You know that the Europeans came over here and put that on us?" And she said, "Yeah, I know, but I'm not going. I know that they put it on us, but I'm not going to leave it because that's all I know." You know?
Well, you know
it's wrong, but I'm still going to keep it.
Research your history, brothers and sisters. That's why you need to pick the Bible up and repent. Because the Most High give more understanding to people who follow commandments. So first of all, you got to do what the first thing, one of the best things the Most High ever said, learn not the ways of the heathen. Put Christmas down. How about that? Put Christmas and put the damn pig down, and maybe the Most High will start feeding you knowledge slowly. We got about 20 more minutes.
Ready?
Go ahead.
Psalms 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
They did what?
The wicked are estranged from the womb.
Uh-huh.
They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies.
So as a result, it was basically a free-for-all for what we would call today citizens arrest, right? No proof needed, just the word of a white devil against you. So guess what? You don't want to work for me anymore? All right, cool. Citizens arrest. Hey, he had alcohol.
Man, that's
Born speaking lie. Hey, most I don't lie about Esau either. He a cunning hunter. He got the blessing of the sword. He born speaking lies, and he gonna be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Now, even more so, Tonga and other surrounding tribes filled Los Angeles jails and labor crews. In 1844, most Tonga in Los Angeles worked as servants in some capacity, whether by choice to avoid incarceration and starvation, or by force for attempting to live off the land and refusing to work for the Spanish elites in a never-ending system of servitude. Sound familiar? Yeah. Tending to your native land, now owned by Spaniards, English, German settlers, invaders, and colonizers. They still do that today. If you hustle and get paid cash for everything, you do it. If you hustle and get paid cash for everything, it's almost impossible to like buy a new home, buy a new vehicle, get a car loan. You can't even rent an apartment unless you have a record of income, specifically income from a corporation or a accredited place, right? Which is owned by who? Most of the European elites. In 1847, a law was passed that prohibited Tonga from entering Los Angeles without proof of employment. You can look this up. Tonga with no masters were exiled out of city limits. Couples and groups will be purposely taken and dropped off far apart from each other. Another tactic to break the Tonga by killing the contact between friends and family, so they had no choice but to bow down and serve Europeans. So they'll take one of you to Rancho Cucamonga. They'll take one of you to Orange County. That way you can't find each other. There ain't no phone, ain't no internet. So what are you forced to do? You're forced to work for the Europeans. When you make it back to LA, you're gonna work for the Europeans. Even if you find your wife back in LA, you're gonna be like, look, we don't want to be separated again, so we're just gonna work for them.
Hey, Salaki, to shine that last part, that last paragraph, I can made me think about how they restrict 10 tribe now. You know, you need a work permit or you need a green card in order for you to work. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same devil playing these same games with our people.
Same thing, different day. There's nothing new under the sun. So if you were found without proof of employment within city limits, you have 4 days to secure employment. If you were caught in the city without working multiple times, you were sent to a house of corrections. Sound familiar? Department of Corrections. This is the next oppressor, the cousin of Esau now. In 1848, Los Angeles became a United States town following the end of the Mexican-American War. This is, you see, 1848. Now, in 1848 was also the California gold rush, right? Now, much like the Spaniards have a history with other natives in Mexico and Central America before encountering the Tonga in California, this new class of rulership by Englishmen under the flag of America had a prior history with other Native American tribes. The cousins of the Tonga, the other tribes of Israel, inhabited the Midwest also. And as they crossed over the United States in their conquest for gold and land, etc., these encounters were often violent and led to death on both sides. So when the English Americans would run into these people, the Tonga, that were fleeing away from the persecution over here, they would show them no mercy because they like, look, we just got up with this tribe over here. They run at you. We just killing you. We ain't, you know what I'm saying? We're not about to play with you. So imprisoning natives in Los Angeles was a symbol for the new government. Remember, there was it was the Spanish elites it was Spain, then it was the Spanish elites under the Mexican flag. And now it's the English Americans that came into power. Imprisoning natives in Los Angeles was a symbol of establishing the new rule of law. You know, every time it's a new governor, he put a hard crime bill down. Yeah, same thing. Vigilante American invaders will often invade jails routinely and hang the accused Tonga in the streets publicly. So imagine that. If you see a little Pocahontas, right, a little cutie, right, and she got a husband, right? Well, guess what you do? You just accuse her husband of a crime, go get him convicted, and then tell a your mob of friends, hey, he whistled at a white woman. You go into jail, take him and hang him. Now his wife don't have a head. Now she probably bound to just lay with you. If you look right here, says the state reward for the death of Indians has been increased to $200 for every redskin sent to purgatory. The state of California paid $17.50 for the murder of Native Americans. The predominant policy towards Indians was kill, murder, exterminate, or domesticate and improve them. In the late 1850s, local municipalities as well as the state paid bounties for evidence for every Indian killed. In 1850, Congress granted California statehood. Many of the first laws passed targeted Native Americans for arrest. All that was necessary was the word of any white citizen. Any Native American convicted, fined for anything could be bonded out of correction houses by any white man that paid the bond. Again, they were forced to work off their debt and then discharged whenever the master boss deemed fit. So instead of bonding yourself out, I could literally say, this man had alcohol. Take him, fine him. All right, how much is this bond? All right, I'll pay it. All right, you my slave now.
Man, that's cold, huh? Cold.
That easy. So let me see what this is. I might skip through a couple of things for the sake of time. Gold from American River. Samuel Brandon walked up and down the streets of San Francisco holding a bottle of pure gold dust. That's in 1848. But though gold spelled prosperity and power for the white settlers who arrived in California in 1849, after it meant disaster for the state's peaceful indigenous population. In just 20 years, 80% of California Native Americans were wiped out. And though some died because of seizure of their land and diseases caught from the new settlers, between 9,000 and 16,000 were murdered in cold blood. The victims of a policy of genocide sponsored by the state of California and gleefully assisted by its new citizens. People of Mexican descent and discrimination and the interment up to 100,000. Wait, let me see. I'm skip through this real quick. Whites are become impressed with the belief that it's absolutely necessary to exterminate the savages before they can labor much longer in the mines with security. This is the state's first governor. Look at this devil. Don't he look evil to you? Demonic. So he was the first one putting these laws forth that were detrimental to our brothers and sisters, okay? He saw indigenous Californians as lazy, savage, dangerous, though he acknowledged the white settlers were taking their territory and bringing disease. Burnett didn't just refuse to avert such a conflict, he egged it on. He set aside money to arm local militias against Native Americans. The state, with the help of your beautiful blue democratic state, with the help of the U.S. Army, who everybody want to go serve for and be the proud, the few, the whatever, started assembling a massive arsenal. These weapons were then given to local militias who were tasked with killing Native people. That's what California did to you through the spirit. So, a new era of rulership was filled with mostly Christian white Englishmen who, from the doctrine of Calvinism, had branched off from the Catholic doctrine. So the old ways of converting natives to Catholics was not destroyed, but not the way that the Americans did it. Americans arrested men and women for anything and everything, and a lot of times nothing. Then went to the correction houses and ironically bonded out the same tongue of a person that he made a citizen's arrest on, like I said before. So who are the most innocent victims? The children. They will be taken into state custody and sent to boarding schools or Indian assimilation schools. Children were also kidnapped to help fill these schools in an effort to further wash the culture of Tonga people away. In 1982, Sherman Indian School was founded in Paris, California. These were the missions that we're talking about. The students were forced to work long hours and face corporal punishment while not being able to see their families or participate in their respective cultures and heritages, like the new moon. The Gabrielo Tonga children were no exception to this. This, give me Deuteronomy 28:32.
Con.
Another curse.
Book of Deuteronomy 28:32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people,
Spaniards.
and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long.
They had those fire sticks that caused death.
And there shall be no might in thy
And you
hand.
had no weapon that could compete with it. These are California's American English rule. This was a picture of our Native American brothers and sisters in a boarding school. That's what they called it. Look, you know, these pictures are very low quality, but look at the paint on their face. Look at this one. Look at him or her. I can't tell.
Yeah, she angry, y'all.
Mad. Look, mad. See, you see, they kind of look native still. This is like when they first got there. They lined them up and said, "We're gonna take a picture." Mad before they cut their hair. Mad.
Man.
Scoffing right here. Look. You always got that one Jake that's just like, man, whatever. Look like they made her lay down like that. Another one. You see, they kind of change their attire, cut their hair off. You know what I mean? And this, you see this right here, change their attire, try to make them look more like them, right? Forced integration. Sherman High School, 1937. I think I skipped one, huh? I did, my bad. This is the goal right here. To sit down and say, class of 1909, and thank you, good teacher, for teaching us. All their culture wiped away. They don't look the same. Sherman Indian School Cemetery. So federal investigation found that at least 973 children died in federal Indian boarding schools. Okay, at least. And you know, it's inflated way more than that. Dora, daughter of Brave Bull. I'm not gonna really go into this, but just know it was bad stuff happening in there. Trust me. So this actually right here is not gonna, we can't hear the audio. I'm gonna play the audio. I'm gonna play the audio from my phone so y'all can hear it a little bit. Okay, calm.
My name is Andrew Windy Boy. I'm a Chippewa. My name is Andrew Windy Boy. I'm a Chippewa Cree. I did 2 boarding schools, one in Wapton Indian School in Wapton, North Dakota, and the other one is Flandreau Indian School in Flandreau, South Dakota. Mid-60s to early 70s.
So he was in a boarding school in 1960s and 70s.
Boarding school where I wasn't allowed to talk my native tongue or practice my native ways. Numerous times they put on this big old big huge white comb, put on there, says dunce.
Dunce means stupid.
I didn't know what it meant. I didn't know English. They put it on me, make me wear it all over. Kids would laugh at me. They took me away from all of that and punished me for talking that It was my first language. I didn't know any other language.
Punish him for talking his language.
So whenever I talk, it came out.
Whenever he talked, he couldn't help it. It came out.
Cree would come out. And whenever I talk, I get hit.
Whenever he talked, it would hit him.
I got the hits so much that I lost my tongue. I lost my native tongue. The only thing I remember was my Indian names. Which is Sayukiyu, means old man evil. I still in Korea, I know they beat me. Every day, they beat me. They cut off my hair, made me kneel in front of the door where everybody come in. Everybody make fun of me when they come by me, rub my head and laugh at me. Because I was talking. They caught me talking.
So that's the what the Indian boarding school did to our children. Go ahead.
What pisses me off about this is that our people are saying to forget
And
all
forgive.
about this.
Yeah, forget and forgive.
Just forgive and forget.
What he says at the end of this is, I hope that somebody hears this one day. We're hearing it today. And I shed a tear when I saw that, man. First time. Grown man. He's the age of my mom. He was born like in the late 50s. You know, grown man crying with his eyes fluttering because it took him back to when he was a boy being abused by European colonists.
I was just saying, it just looked like he so hurt that he
That's
don't know his native tongue.
Yeah, he was hurt that he didn't know his native tongue because
Like, that really hurt.
it really hurt him. But see, he had to forget it or else he was going to speak. And when he spoke it, they beat him. They really, we always say they beat the language out of us. They literally beat the language out of him. And by the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, I mean, it'll tell you on Google. But this is the actual witness. They beat the language out of us. So remember he said they put a hat on that said dunce, right? So this is what that is. Putting on a dunce hat on an Indian person is considered highly offensive and racist because it's a symbol of ignorance and used to mock and belittle someone, especially when applied to a specific culture group. The definition of dunce is a person who is slow at learning, a stupid person. Okay? Lamentations 4:21. Yeah.
Said 4:21.
Yeah.
Book of Lamentations 4 and verse 21. Rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee.
So that cup you gave to us is going to pass to you. It's going to pass to you. So-called European man that did this to my people is going to pass through to you, and it's not going to be done by our hands in this fleshly body. It's going to be done by the Most High God through His Son, through the angels, and through the elect that He chooses to be His soldiers in that glorified state and just wreak havoc on the heathens that did this to us. That's going to happen, thus saith the Lord. And I have full faith in that. Go ahead.
Thou shalt be drunken.
You're going to be drunk with that cup of atrocity. You're going to get a double cup. Hey, go watch that street teaching lesson my brother said. You love when you said that, huh? He was speaking right to them heathens at the pipe. He said, I hope you stay up at night. Right? Give me Lamentations 4:22 now.
22. The punishment of thy iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion.
I'm speaking to Israel.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
So we're not going into slavery no more. That ain't happening. Thus saith the Lord. Go ahead.
He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
And that's what's happening with these fires. It's just a little tiny snippet of what you got to look forward to, the so-called European man. Fire and brimstone. Go ahead.
He will discover thy sins.
Because he knows, he sees everything. Let me Psalms 137 and 7. Psalms 137 and 7.
The book of Psalms 137 and verse 7.
Come.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom,
Esau.
in the day of Jerusalem,
Way back in 70 AD.
who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof.
So why when I see Palisades burning, I can't say raise it.
Burn it down. Burn it
I
down.
remember in the LA riots, my dad, we was driving, I was a little kid. He walked by, he was driving by a gas station burned up, and he was like, burn, baby, burn. And that's how I feel about Palisades. Let it burn.
Wow.
Hey, when our holy temple was burning, they sat back while it was burning. It was like, yeah, burn it down. That's the type of energy they had. Way back in 70 AD.
God.
Okay?
And usher voice, let it burn. God.
There we go. Back on? Somebody got it on their phone? All right, my bad, y'all. My bad, y'all. We back on. Forgot to plug up my laptop. We basically done. Where was we at? Psalms 1. Let me get 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Actually, we was on Psalms 137 and 7. Let me get 8 real quick. My bad.
All right, you good, okay? The book of Psalms 137 and verse 8. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed.
Art to be what?
Art to be destroyed.
Love everybody peacefully. Everything's gonna be harmony and rainbows and unicorns, right?
Come. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Hey, I'm happy when I see that land that was taken from us burnt up because you took it from us. I'm happy when the Most High rewards you as you rewarded me. Right? 2 Thessalonians 1 and 6. Most High God is a man of war. And he's a just man. He's a just power. He's a just God. And a false balance is an abomination. Go ahead.
The book of 2 Thessalonians 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
So it's a righteous thing with God to recompense him that troubles you, speaking to Israel, right? So let's keep going. I'm going to read this. In a flaming I'm going to read verse 7. This is 2 Thessalonians, same chapter. And to you who are troubled, rest with us, when the Lord Hamashiach Yahushua shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels, in flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not God, and that obey not the gospel of our Lord Hamashiach Yahushua, who shall be punished with everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power, when he shall come to be glorified in his saints and to be admired in all them that believe, because our testimony among you was believed in that day. Wherefore also we pray for you, that our God would count you worthy of his calling and fulfill all the good pleasure, all his promises of his goodness that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the work of faith and your works by faith with power. The Los Angeles fires. Now we all seen this, probably different little skits, but just want to show this power of the Most High God. With fire, he said, right? The Esau running. Oh, I'm not sharing? Okay, my bad. Share real quick. I only got like one more slide, but I'm gonna show y'all. Come. Share now. So is this judgment or is it a tragedy? Fair use. We don't own the right to any of these video you can't hear.
First up, we've got Shane.
The audio we heard from our brother, we don't own that either. This is the work of God. And he made refugee. Esau, refuge. He said he a fugitive and a vagabond, right?
Everything like this such a mental thing. It's like my mom passed away. I have only a few things of hers left.
Look, Esau crying.
Family is the most important thing.
Destruction.
Homes are destroyed on an unprecedented scale.
People would normally be driving up and down here with surfboards or like some sort of a...
That's enough on that. Everybody could go on YouTube and see that. But the Most High God did enough. Huh? Quick question.
It's not a question, I'm just saying, did you see that, what was that,
Let her get it.
what was that award show that just showed right before the fires?
Oh, I don't keep up with that, sister. I'm sorry.
She was there mocking God.
Oh, I heard a.
And her house got burned down, and they said.
All praise to the Most High.
At an academy or
All praise to the Most High.
One of those, yeah.
All praise to the Most High.
He also did like a vote or something like that. And,
That's what she was mocking.
Right.
A God that a creator got nothing. That's something she said.
I heard a headline about that.
But look, the Most High God had claimed over 10,000 structures.
Okay, so Deuteronomy 32 and 39 says, "See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill, I make alive, I wound, I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand." Hebrews 1 and 7 says, and of the angels he said, who make his angel spirits. Rata brought this out, talking about Enoch, and his ministers a flame of fire. So the Most High has angels that are ministers of flame and fire. Revelation 14 and 18. And another angel came out from the altar, which had power over fire. Okay. 2 Peter 2 and 6. And the turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with an overthrow, making them an example to those that shall live ungodly. And we know Esau is ungodly. 1 Peter 4:17. For the time has come that judgment must begin at the house of God. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of God? So I like this verse because it's saying, hey, they gonna get it, but the judgment gonna start with us. So we got to get our garments clean too, though. Okay, Romans 9:20. Amen. Hey, we love this verse and we be joking. Oh man, who art thou that replies against God? God did it. Who are you to reply against God? Who are you to pray to God to stop the fires? God did it. And your forefathers is the reason why he did it, because they were massacred. Shall the thing formed say to him that formed it, why hast thou made me thus? No. In closing, I go to Philippians 4:23. The grace of the Lord and Mashiach Yahushua be with you all. Amen. Salakia for the late start. Got hit with some traffic. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody learned something. I definitely learned something doing this. I'm Deshaun Manya Sharala. This is my brother, Kalab Yahawada. And just to remind y'all, happy Sabbath, Israel. So-called blacks, so-called Hispanic, Latinos, and Native Americans of indigenous descent that scattered around the world whose spirit bear witness are in fact the true children of God, according to biblical prophecy, according to archaeology, and according to the Most High God. And we are believers of the way, sometimes hated, sometimes alienated, but never faded through the Spirit of the Most High God. All praise to the Most High. Happy Sabbath, y'all. I hope everybody learned something. I want to shout out Sister Aaliyah. Sister Aaliyah sent a video through the Brother Demonabal to me, and I did include some of that information. It's a young sister. She got a great spirit. She be on fire. She in the chat right here, and I appreciate it, sister. I'm just doing what the Lord told me to do. Keep it up. Keep spreading that spirit and spreading that light to our sisters out there. All praise to the Most High. Kwame Sharala. Oh, praise God. Go ahead. We're going to end it now. Everybody have happy Sabbath. Love y'all, Israel. All right, get a brother. Get a brother.